everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. We are going to go over quite a few good news articles. Exciting news for Minnesota, not so exciting news for Texas, and some really just upsetting news from the federal government, especially after what the two recent federal judges ruled about firearms. So let's jump right into these articles. This first one is on CNN.com, and this is Minnesota does officially become the 23rd state to legalize recreational marijuana. Super exciting news for not only the Midwest, but also United States. Being the 23rd state, we are almost halfway legalized completely for recreational use here in America. So that means as an adult, 21 years and older, you could basically travel almost half of our country and get weed in almost half of it, all those states. I'm so excited if you cannot tell. So let's read a little bit about what we know here. The governor says that what we know right now is about prohibition is that it does not work. We've criminalized a lot of folks, and we're going to start the expungement process on those records. We have a situation where buying cannabis on the streets is dangerous. So they're going to legalize the process and make it legal for people who are 21 years and older. Could not be more excited about this. Touches South Dakota, so it's very close to my home, and I am very excited for the Minnesota people. I didn't see it in this article, but Dab Smarts reached out to me on Instagram. He said that he was of the understanding that they were able to do home cultivation as well. So very excited to Minnesota. Congratulations to you guys. The next one is where I was a little bit upset with after hearing that two federal judges just recently ruled that medical marijuana patients cannot be barred from owning firearms, and that came from two independent separate judges on a federal level. This is on the marijuanamoment.net, and the U.S. ATF just reached out and warned marijuana consumers in Minnesota that they are still federally barred from purchasing and possessing guns regardless of the state's new cannabis laws. Wow. So what do you guys say about the two judges just ruling that it was unlawful for medical marijuana patients to be barred from owning guns? Like, that's against their Second Amendment. How is this not against the people of Minnesota's Second Amendment? Their state legalized it. The federal government, they need to get on board. It is about time. All right, next one is 5 Harvard elementary students hospitalized after smoking weed at school. And this one is bad, y'all. At about 1:50 p.m., paramedics respond to the school at 7525 South Harvard Avenue and took 6 children ranging from 9 to 10 years old into the hospital for drug-related reasons. And this is what happened. Apparently, 5 students aged 9 to 10 were observed laughing uncontrollably after ingesting marijuana from a vape pen. Sources said that they may have picked a vape pen up on a field trip on Tuesday, and a student brought it back to school and shared it with 4 friends. So, shout out to that kid. He's a real G. Obviously, this is sick. I don't want kids to have any kind of cannabis. I don't want kids to have access to cannabis. I don't want kids just picking up. I don't know if it sounds to me like he actually picked one up off of the ground, which is terrible. I mean, could you imagine losing your pen, which clearly you did not want to do, and then you find out that some kid picked it up? That would be terrible. So, luckily, all of these kids were fine. They were taken to the hospital, and they were able to climb in and out of the ambulances just fine, and they were in good condition. As anybody knows, it's not harmful. So, next one is illegal pot trade linked to Mexican drug cartels leaves contaminants in dead animals behind. This is on the Courier-Journal.com, and thousands of illegal grow sites, some linked to Mexican drug cartels, litter precocious public lands across Northern California. And I read through this one, and it's pretty standard. You know, they use dangerous pesticides, they pollute the rivers, they kill the animals, and they leave a bunch of trash and garbage. One thing that I found really interesting about this article was the number. They list at least 5,800 trespass grow sites littering U.S. public lands, and that is astonishing. Could you imagine? Some of them are probably really big, and it talks about how much water they have been taking and how it's just such a limited, finite resource in California. Hopefully they can take down as many of these illegal grows as possible, especially any of them that are linked to the cartel. All right, so this one was also in Illinois. Traffic stop leads to machine gun and marijuana charges in Peoria. And this 21-year-old leaving a area that was very well suspected for drug trafficking was pulled over, and he not only had large quantities of marijuana on him, but he also had an AR-style pistol with a machine gun switch, which is crazy. A 21-year-old in Chicago running around with an AR pistol with a fully automatic. Disgusting, man. And he has selling weed. That's the kind of culture you guys got out there. I'll stay out of Illinois. All right, Cron.com. Texas weed reform bill dies in Senate despite bipartisan support. Texas, guys, you guys are really dropping the ball down here. Apparently, the staunch Republican leadership down there refused to bring either one of these things to the floor discussion, which is super sad because down there in Texas, these people are, really bad people. Cancer patients, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis. These people can only get a 10 milligram square for their debilitating conditions. And not only do I think they should up that to much more than 100 milligrams. They should be like 1,000 milligrams for those kind of cases. If any kind of limit, why put a limit on it at all? And it should also access to more people because it's a very select number, or I don't even know what the conditions are, but it's pretty strict rules on what conditions allow you to get a medical marijuana card. So they should loosen up those rules a little bit. This one I thought was hilarious. Kelly Ripa complains that her New York City neighborhood smells like marijuana by 8 a.m. Why are you high already? Girl, we are smoking weed with coffee. What are you talking about? Why are we high already? Like, if you smoked weed, you would know. Probably putting a little Baileys in your coffee, and you don't think we can smell that? With you. All right, next one is Ohio. Bipartisan bill would legalize marijuana in Ohio. House Bill 168 would rename Ohio's medical marijuana control program to the Division of Marijuana Control and would be in charge of regulating the medical marijuana and adult use programs. So if this passes, this is going to be awesome. It'll be the 24th state to legalize for recreational use and another Midwest state as well. Is Ohio considered Midwest? Anyways. Shout out to Yams DeLong. If you guys don't follow Yams' YouTube channel or her Instagram page, go follow Yams DeLong. You can find her in my follow list, and she is an awesome content creator. She is from Ohio, and I hope that it goes legal in your state. Let's see what we got going on here. Next one is Arkansas medical marijuana sales reach 5,000 pounds in April. This is super exciting. Also, some of the numbers in this article really jumped out to me. I want to point them out to you. So, a monthly breakdown was available for here. The Arkansas Department of Health reports 94,282 active patient cards, and that's huge compared to 10,000 patients in the state of South Dakota. All right, so sales for the first 4 months of 2023 totaled 18,847 pounds of medical marijuana, an increase of 3,079 pounds from this time last year. That is super, super awesome. Those are some numbers. You have a lot of medical patients down there in Arkansas, probably because it's not recreational legal. I don't think it is anyways, but I'm assuming that's why you have so many patients. And it sounds like you guys are burning a lot of Chiba. I got to get down to Arkansas and see what's going on down there, baby. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this week's Cannabis News podcast, and I'll see you next week.